ahead and open up the room. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program and also the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health, it is my honor to be able to bring this program to you and the world of empowering information, folks. You know, our bodies were divinely created. We were not made as junk, but it takes those fine minerals and nutrients that are the currency of life to continue having a body and a life that is full of vibrance, life, energy, so that we can do more than really survive, but actually thrive. You are watching Daily with Doc and Becca, and if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, make sure they cared enough and took time to share this program with you. Get back and let them know what you liked best about it, and that person will be able to help you get onto a better health journey as well. Now, if nobody invited you or you found this program all on your very own, feel free to go to our sponsor, dailywithdoc.com, and you will find replays of past shows. You'll find that good foods, bad foods list that we all need to follow and really take serious. And you will also find products that are mentioned on this program. Now, this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are the products meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. The FDA does require us to say that, but the doctor that we have on with us and the person that really inspired the production of this show, he has sued the FDA, he and his attorney, Jonathan Emord, 9 times and prevailed. That means they won. The purpose of their lawsuit was carried out and has been instrumental in getting key nutrients, essential nutrients, added to things like baby food and prenatal vitamins to help support healthy life from the very beginning. Now, you're going to be hearing a lot of information today, and if you would like to join us live here in our Zoom room, you are more than welcome to. We have somebody that puts in the chat the dictation or transcription of the program so that you can see right there in black and white what is being said, what is being shared, and what is being recommended. You can go to dailywithdoczoom.com. We are live now Wednesday through Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific time to about 12:50, and dailywithdoczoom.com. I do want to do a shout out to our radio audience as well, as they are continuing to listen to us on KSEO and KOMY through the thanks of Michael Zerling and Dave Michaels. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for continuing this show. And if you are connected with the radio show and you would like to have the program streamed and syndicated on your stations as well, please go to dailywithdoc.com and use that contact option to reach me, and I will make sure that you get the information you need so that you also can syndicate our program. Now, we're on Fire TV, Apple TV, and also Roku. So for all of you that love to binge watch, here's a program, Daily with Doc. You can find that on those platforms that you can plug into, as well as all the different social media options we have. So without further ado, I am honored to bring to you the one, the only Dr. Joel Wallach, who has been finding the benefits of nutrition and minerals since he was a young boy, and being able to apply those through his life that took him from a little boy who was a little bit on maybe the unruly side to becoming an athlete, a scientist, a student with multiple degrees, Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, in Soil and Plant Sciences, 3 postdoctorates in pathology, a doctor of veterinary medicine, which has taken him around the world, that helped him get those 3 degrees in pathology, and a naturopathic physician. He is also one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics, which has proven the genetic theory of disease transmission to be incorrect. And he even has a book written with the same title, Epigenetics. Sorry, I said it right the first time. The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission by Dr. Joel Wallach, Dr. Ma Lan, and Gerhard Schrauzer. I don't know why I have a hard time with that, Doc. But folks, you can get this book, which is my favorite book, because it gives so much hope. Those things that I was told were genetic, that I just have to deal with the rest of my life, that was wrong. And this book tells all about it. You can get it at drjwallach.com. That is drjwallach.com. And there you will also find all of Dr. Wallach's 24 books that have been published, plus almost 100 other publications in the form of audio CDs and ebooks and digital downloads, all to help support Dr. Wallach's 90 for Life crusade to save the humanity and the world, which is also a flip chart that is available on his website that he and I put together. So Dr. Wallach, I'd like to welcome you to the screen. So smile, please. I have to. You have to add it too.
What?
Here we go. Good morning. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for the kind introduction, and it's an honor to be working with you and your team. And it's one of those things where we've been seeing phenomenal positive responses and results, and so we're going to keep on going. And of course, we're growing. We've got things coming up here pretty quick. I can't give you any details because we want this to come out all over the world at the same moment. Push the buttons, and it'll all go. Everybody in the world will have access to it at the same time. So we're looking, what, now at about a week or 10 days?
Not going to say. Coming soon. Coming soon. Very soon, Dr. Wallach.
Coming very soon. Okay.
Yep. Not everything's in my control, so I cannot give an actual date. So we're just going to say very soon.
Yeah, this release is going to really change the entire world in terms of medical science.
Yeah, okay. I agree. There's a lot of misinformation out there that is wrongfully killing people and animals around the world. So we're ready to uncover that misinformation, provide correct information, and Dr. Wallach's research has proven that what they're saying is incorrect. But Dr. Wallach, I have questions that are coming in about things that are genetic, that are blood conditions. So can you tell us, I know you have said with the genetic theory is being incorrect, you have proven it. There's a science that backs that called epigenetics. When somebody's been told that they have a genetic blood condition, what is your response to that?
Well, first of all, they need to seek out other doctors' opinions. Okay. And it's one of those things where when a doctor doesn't know something, can't recognize what's going on, they'll say, oh, you have a genetic situation. And immediately puts the blame of everything on the patient or the patient's family instead of, getting down to the basic root cause of the truth. And this is something that I learned in these big projects with 10 years of autopsies, a project that resulted in the book Disease of Exotic Animals. And they originally sold for $25,000 each. It blew my mind. They sold for $25,000 each for about 5 years. And then they took the cost down considerably because they're printing so many of them. Okay, and so now you can get them used and beat up, and the dogs have peed on them and kind of stuff like that. You can get, there you go, Disease of Exotic Animals. That's it. Now you can get them When they're really beat up, you can get them for like $900 or $1,000 or something like that. But it's common to be able to get really in good condition, still in the wrappers and everything, for somewhere around anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 to $10,000. Okay, this book changed the world. This book changed the world because we had the equipment, we had the science to correct a lot of misinformation. And so I was just really very proud of that book. And that said to me that we have more work to do. And that's why we're here. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay. Okay, well, today we want to talk about anemia, a very common disease. I'll repeat, that's a very common disease, anemia. And there's several different causes of it. One is a very simple nutritional deficiency. Everybody's heard of iron deficiency anemia, and so it's not a secret, okay? But this disease occurs in a cell that's made in the bone marrow. The bone marrow of every species of animals with bone marrow, and everything from fish to birds to big wild animals to human beings, every species, anybody with blood, okay, has their bone marrow making the red blood cells. And so this is a common thing to all organisms that make red blood cells, because red blood cells carry the oxygen, okay, to all the tissues. It's kind of interesting. And so let's see here. Let's look at some of this. One of the things you have to appreciate, I'm going to kind of lay the groundwork here. We Americans, we like to beat our chest and say we have the greatest healthcare system in the world, and we spend a lot of money on it. But we only rank 47th in the world when it comes to health and longevity. That's right, we only rank 47th. There's 46 other countries whose people are healthier than us and live longer than us. This is all determined by the United Nations and the international goings on with every kind of blood science you can think of, okay? And so this is one of those things. Hong Kong comes in number one, a longevity of 85.83. Number two is Macau. Their life expectancy is 85.51. Japan is number three, 84.95. Switzerland came in number four with 84.38. Now, why Switzerland? All the others are Asians. Well, that's because in Switzerland, they live in these high mountains where the glaciers are grinding up the rocks, and the water that's coming down the mountains is white. And so it's called glacial milk. In the old days, people would say, well, why do people live so long, okay, in certain places? Well, they have access to milk. They actually come from the land called milk and honey, land flowing with milk and honey. It wasn't cow's milk. It wasn't goat's milk, or camel's milk, or sheep's milk. It was glacial milk, okay, that they were talking about, all the minerals. Number five is Singapore, 84.20. Let's just go over to the United States now. We rank 47th. There's 46 other countries whose peoples are healthier than us and live longer than us, depending on whose numbers you're looking at. Anywhere from our life expectancy, 75. In some cases, they give us 79.74. And so this is, what should I say, the benchmark. That's saying, okay, here's where we are. What are we going to do about it? Okay. Then let's look at what should I say, paying for this misinformation. In the United States, you're going to think I'm missing something here, but this is, you'll see in a moment while I'm saying it this way. Arthritis in America, each year we used to treat the symptoms of arthritis, not to prevent or cure, but just to treat the symptoms of arthritis, the pain and the swelling and so forth. We give artificial limbs and we reduce the pain and so forth, and crutches and wheelchairs. $626.8 billion. $626.8 billion. We spend more for arthritis, okay, than any other disease except one. There's one other disease where we spend more, and that disease is related to arthritis. It's called osteoporosis. Osteoporosis we're told it's just an old person's disease. You got to expect that. You get old, you get osteoporosis, your bones get thin. And no, it's actually nutritional deficiency. In America alone, this is just America alone. Well, let me take that back. As the USA, Canada, and the EU combined, those three communities combined, we spend $6.5 trillion. $6.5 trillion. And then you add the, what is it, the 626.8 billion. Now you're looking at $7 trillion we spend each year just to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis. $7 trillion a year. This is very scary stuff. Okay, it's just a simple nutritional deficiency disease. Now, then you want to say, okay, we have the flip chart, which everybody should get. Now, the flip chart is our newest book, and we're already getting ready to put this new information in it that's coming out. And again, I'm not going to give you the name or anything like that of anything yet, but it is a major, it's probably, what should I say, one of the greatest discoveries ever. Okay. And of course, one of those things we have in history, we use wood and coal for fuel, for cooking and heating and building big fires, and which would chase off lions and tigers and bears that wanted to eat us. Okay. We would chase them off, okay, with fire. And we would eat the wood ashes as a spice. We would eat the wood ashes because we'd fertilize our gardens with it, and the plants would suck up the minerals. Okay. And it's one of those things where that went on all over the world. All over the world, people would use wood and coal for fuel, and we would use the wood ashes as a fertilizer in our gardens and crops, and we would also use the wood ashes as a supplement. Okay, that's how we got our minerals. Well, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1883, we pulled the switch on the electricity. Okay, and within a couple of months, suddenly now everybody's switching over to electricity. No more wood ashes, no more coal ashes, and suddenly now the medical system flourished. Okay, now the beauty of this flip chart, I'm going to touch it a couple of times here, and Rebecca's pulling it up. The 95 Crusade to Save Humanity and the World has 75 pages. We're going to be adding a couple more pages here, but it's one of those things where it's like crazy. And we have all these famous people that had diseases that the doctors couldn't fix. They were just treating their symptoms, and we got rid of their diseases. And so they allowed us to use their stories. We're talking about Pat Boone, great singer and actor, 45 million records sold. He had arthritis. We got rid of that. Danny Glover, he had, let's see here, he had the, what do you call it?
Disorders.
I'm sorry?
Danny Glover had seizure disorders.
Oh yeah, seizure disorders and seizure disorders and epilepsy and all that kind of stuff. We got rid of that. And he's a comedian and actor. And then, let's see here, Jesse Medelis is an up-and-coming actor, singer. Okay. And he had all kinds of arthritis and back problems. Evander Holyfield, great heavyweight boxer, had a heart attack during the break before the last round, defending his championship. And so he lost his championship by default because he couldn't respond to the bell. We come up with a healthy brain and heart pack for him. Okay, got him going on that. And then 3 months later, he came back. And they had to stop the fight in the 6th round because he was killing the current champion at that time. The current champion was going to be really, really in deep trouble. The field was just knocking him crazy. So they stopped the fight and gave the fight to and the title back as the heavyweight champion. And so this is one of our great happiness. Okay, with Evander Holyfield. And Creflo Dollar, great. His family had problems. Dr. Mike Freeman, great story. He was unconscious for 2.5 months, and the doctors pulled all his IVs and G tubes and all that kind of stuff, and told his family they better come say their goodbyes because they only got literally minutes or hours to live. And one of our great distributors from up there in northeast. Okay, we actually told her to rub the plant minerals on him, his chest, his belly, upper belly, lower belly, his upper back between his shoulder blades, his lower back and lower back 3 times a day. Well, just the next day, she calls me and says, Pastor Freeman woke up this morning after 2.5 months in a coma, and he shaved and he's ready to go. And that was 10 years ago, and he runs around the world telling his story, how the good Lord's substances saved him from certain death. What a great story. Theo Ratliff, okay, great basketball player. He had bone-to-bone arthritis. They wanted to give him double leg replacements, amputate his legs and give him artificial legs. Of course, he couldn't play basketball anymore. And so we came up with the healthy bone and joint pack, which was our healthy start pack. We came up with the glucogel, which was the first commercial collagen product on the market, because everybody was making the bone broth and getting their collagen that way. So we came up with collagen peptides, okay, and glucogel, and the glucogel to go along with the healthy start pack, and we came up with the healthy bone and joint pack, okay. And Theo was able to play for another 9 years with professional teams, made $100 million. Okay, now he runs around the world telling his story and building his longevity business. Mike Glenn, he was the one that introduced Theo Ratliff to us. The Stinger, great basketball player, had problems. We rebuilt him. Martin Luther King III. We went around just about every state in the United States and Canada and much of the Europe and so forth. I really enjoyed working with him. He really brought this information to the Black community around the world. Andy Young, great politician, pastor, mayor of Atlanta, Georgia. He had personal problems, and we were able to help him with that. Plus, he and I went around the world and around the United States. Kelly Heron, great basketball player, girl, and she was a sophomore at the University of Tennessee, and she was an All-American, but she couldn't shoot anymore because she had something going on. She had osteoporosis of her right shoulder, and we put her on the healthy bone and joint pack that we had made for Theo, and it was beginning of summer, and so by fall she was able to come back and play 2 more years, as an All-American. And then she played professional women's basketball for 4 years. And in the flip chart, she's one of the females that we show in there. Really, really very, very tall lady, obviously. And then Rebecca Dukes, Director of Student Services, Institute of Holistic Health. And she's in not only for that title and the great things she does for the whole community, but because she lost 125 pounds. She was obese, and she lost 125 pounds. So we're very, very proud of her for that. Okay, now we're coming back to today. Sickle cell anemia. Okay, our bones make red blood cells. Let's go to, let's see here, 2% of male adults are anemic in America. Let's see here, 9 to 12% of white females in America are anemic. 20% of, let's see here, can you read my own writing? Oh, non-Hispanic whites at 20%, okay, has anemia, and 46% of the Black community has anemia, and 18.2% from India and Asia have anemia. Okay, anemia all comes from something going wrong with the nutrition of the bone marrow. Sickle cell anemia, okay, because the cells are malformed. In America, any one year, the numbers range from 70,000 to 100,000 new cases a year. Okay, sickle cell anemia. The bone marrow doesn't have what it needs to make healthy blood cells. Thalassemia, okay, whites per 1 per 600, 4.4 of every 10,000 live births have thalassemia. Southeastern Asians, 1 in 2,600 births have thalassemia. Okay, it's malformed red blood cells. Hemophilia, again. Let's see here. Type A hemophilia, 10 per 100,000. Okay.
Question for you.
I'm sorry?
I have a question for you. We're talking
Yeah.
about anemia, and then they have sickle cell anemia. They have thalassemia. What makes those two different types of anemia?
Well, if you're deficient in one nutrient, you get, iron, you get anemia. But if you're deficient in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different nutrients, then you get thalassemia. Okay, because the bone marrow needs 90 essential nutrients, and okay, and so it makes it a complex. And then, of course, again, hemophilia, you get 10 per 100,000, and type B hemophilia is 3 per 100,000.
Okay, so with hemophilia, that's a blood clotting disorder where the blood doesn't clot properly. How does that relate with anemia?
Well, it all has to do with what the bone marrow is able to make and not make. Okay, it all comes from the bone marrow, same tissues. And it's one of those things where, again, when we were using wood and coal as fuel, we didn't have these problems because we're getting all these minerals in the ashes. We're eating them in our food as spices. We're putting the wood ashes with the minerals in them into our gardens and our fields. Okay. And this is why people like the Hunses live to be 120. Okay. Why do they live to be 120? Because they're getting all these minerals coming down from the mountains in the glacial milk. Okay. Okay. And so it's one of those things where it's very, very obvious that this, and then you look at, let's see here, we have mosquitoes, okay, carrying around. Which virus is that?
Well, there's malaria.
Yeah, there you go. Malaria. It's a parasite, okay? And the parasite gets carried around by the
Mosquito.
by the mosquito. And it's one of those things where there's another disease of the bone marrow and the red blood cells. And then we have also all these anemias can happen in kids, especially in the United States, in the southern states, because they run around barefooted and lay, in their swimsuits or shorts and T-shirts, roll around in the grass after the rain, that kind of stuff. They're getting impacted by the hookworms. Okay, out of these kids, they're getting hookworm anemia. Okay, and so we have again, we have the mosquitoes and malaria. We have the hookworms. Okay, and which has to do with again anemia. This is just goes on and on and on and on, and so it's one of those things where people who supplement do much better than people who don't supplement. And of course, we have the ability to rebuild the bone marrow. We have the healthy bone and joint pack. We have the nutrients your bone marrow requires to stay in business, so to speak.
Now, part of the Healthy Body, Bone, and Joint Pack, Dr. Wallach, includes a product called glucogel.
Yes.
And that was the pack that was developed for Theo Ratliff when he was having so many bone issues, breakage, connective tissue issues. Kelly Herron, when she was having problems with her shoulder, she got on that pack or a similar pack as well. Now, glucogel, when people see that word, gluco, they think sugar, and that's incorrect. So it is not made from any type of corn products. It's not made from any GMOs. And glucogel does not affect blood sugar. It's actually a collagen, correct, Dr. Wallach?
That is
It then
correct.
supports as a building block to healthy bones, joints, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, all the soft tissue, the hard tissue. So when you're able to give the body nutrition to correct or remove a deficiency, which glucogel does not do it by itself, folks. I don't want you to run out and just buy one product. You got to get the 90 essential nutrients and have those on board first.
You don't get a beautiful angel food cake recipe by throwing sugar in a pan and putting it in the oven. You have a lot of ingredients in angel food cake. Same way,
that's right.
Your bone marrow requires an enormous amount of nutrition to make the red blood cells. The red blood cell is a cell that's hollow, okay, and it has all this fluid in there, has all these nutrients in there, has all these enzymes in there, has all these programs in there, and the cell, as you see the little red drop you see, under the microscope, looks like a halo kind of thing. The center is lower than the outside, and it's one of those things where this red blood cell is a package, and it has all these nutrients in there that made the hemoglobin, which carries the oxygen.
Now we have a question that comes up, Dr. Wallach. Anemia is the lack of iron in the blood, but a question comes up, what if you have too much iron in the blood? What causes that?
Well, you drink too much water and you get rusty.
I don't think that's the answer.
Okay. If you have too much iron, okay, get constipated, okay, and also, which I say, you can have actually things going on with the bone marrow because you're subduing it. It's just like when you take too much calcium, same thing. Too much iron, too much calcium, too much copper, too much zinc, too much any nutrient is bad. That's why there's a kind of like a, what should I say, a too little, just right, and too much. And that's why we have the books. Okay, that's why we have the CDs, and it tells you where you need to be, and you can test hair analysis. You can get blood tests, and this will tell you if you're in that zone where you're supposed to be. Okay, and you can test it like, it wouldn't hurt to test it like, especially if you're out there working and sweating and that kind of stuff, or playing the sports and sweating, or a little older, wouldn't hurt to do these tests, blood tests, hair analyses, that kind of stuff, like once every 3 or 4 or 5 months.
Well, I test my blood more often than that using a glucometer, which you can get from a corner store. It's really inexpensive. Just to make sure that I'm staying on track, Dr. Wallach, because in the past I have had blood sugar issues. And I love the fact that since I've been on the program and continuing with the nutrition, I did make changes in my diet, which included removing the gluten and limiting my carbohydrate intake, limiting my sugar intake. I not only feel better, the numbers show it as well. So there's a lot that can be done. But so too much iron, is there a nutrient that then, because I know in the hair analysis, it has charts that show ratios between different nutrients. Is there a missing nutrient that's not allowing the proper absorption of the iron so that it's hanging out in the blood and showing too much iron in the blood? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know the answer to that offhand. I'd have to, I'm sure. We look it up. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Wallach, we do have questions that are coming up, so we want to make sure that we leave time for questions, as we only have less than, about 15 minutes here left in the show. So one of the first actually, let me do a testimonial over here. So over on YouTube, because I know he won't read it himself, we have Angel that is saying they want to share a testimonial. And she says that, or Angel says, I've been working with AJ and I've been making huge leaps and bounds in progress, and I have been feeling the best I've felt in years. Thank you, AJ, Dr. Joel Wallach, and Critical Health News team for the love transmissions. They're so helpful, extremely helpful. So hats off to the whole team and AJ for working with Angel. And I know Angel's appreciating that as well. So thank you for sharing that testimonial. Now we have another question, and I think Phyllis has her hand up for this. So let me go ahead and bring Phyllis up. Phyllis, how are you today? And please unmute yourself. And what questions do you have for Dr. Wallach?
I am just right, as you know, and we have several questions on YouTube. Angel is wondering about skin growths, Dr. Wallach, such as black or brown spots. Can those be reversed somehow?
Yeah, usually when you have black or brown spots, it could be hemorrhage in the skin. It could be melanin, which is responding to some irritation. Okay. And so it could be blood clots in the skin, all that kind of stuff. And so basically, we have a product called Hair, Skin, and Nails. So they need the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight, get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per 100 pounds of body weight. Per 100 pounds of body weight, I would throw in 1 bottle of Hair, Skin, and Nails per month. If they weigh 135, 150 pounds, I'd go with 2 bottles of Hair, Skin, and Nails and take at least 3 twice a day. And it wouldn't hurt to throw in the collagen peptides, because the collagen peptides, okay, and the glucogel, so put those 2 things in there because they will help rebuild skin. Okay.
All right, we've got another one from Moshta. He has a friend with thrombocythemia, which I believe is too many platelets. And we don't know if it's a man or a woman or height, weight, just the condition is thrombocythemia.
Okay. Well, basically what you want to understand is the bone marrow makes more than just red blood cells. It makes platelets for clotting blood. Okay. And so if you've got that problem, there's a bone marrow problem. Okay.
So the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack.
Yes, get rid of all the bad foods.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw in, it wouldn't hurt to throw in the, let's see here. I would also do something like the Rebound or a sports drink, 2-3 times a day. I say 2 times a day per 100 pounds of body weight, or a sports drink instead of, soft drinks and just like orange juice and stuff like that. It's just primarily sugar and some vitamin C. Okay.
And how about the MSM Ultra, Dr. Wallach? I know that you recommend that when it comes to bone issues.
Yeah. And of course, again, at the beginning, do a hair analysis, see where they're at and all these nutrients. And then in 3 months' time, see where they're at. You have to get rid of all the bad foods and take the nutrients and see where they're at after 3 months on the program, and see, how they're clinically. Do they feel better? Do they sleep better? Do they have more activity? Their symptoms gone? The white and brown spots reducing or going away? And so when you see things happening, going in the right direction, you're doing the right thing.
And we also have Hunter. He has a woman friend. Her bladder has dropped, and the doctor is talking about maybe doing a hysterectomy. He's telling her not to jog, exercise, lift weights, or any of that. We don't have a height or weight, so maybe we can talk per 100 pounds.
Sure. Okay. Well, again, this can be a connective tissue failure. Okay. because the urinary bladder is supported just like your intestines are supported, and your liver is supported by connective tissue. And so again, per 100 pounds of body weight, one healthy brain and heart pack per month. It wouldn't hurt again to throw in the glucogel and the collagen peptides to get a hair analysis, find out where we're at with all these connective tissue supporting minerals. Okay, instead of guessing, we can get some very specific information from a hair analysis. All right.
Good to know. And then one more quickie. Olga on YouTube, and these are all off of YouTube, is wondering about, is there a way to help with thin enamel of the teeth?
Okay. This is difficult because enamel is minerals, and minerals come from a blood supply. And when your teeth are getting sort of anemic by they're losing minerals, okay, it could be because they're eating gluten. It could be because they're not taking enough nutrition. And again, this is where a hair analysis will give you good information. Anything to do with bones, skin, connective tissue, arteries, brain, you want that hair analysis that's going to really give you very specific answers to those questions. Remember, there's 90 essential nutrients, and you could have 2 or 3 of them really missing, and another 5 or 10 in low amounts, and have problems. And so a hair analysis will give you that information.
And a similar recommendation to what you've given in the past for the connective tissue repair would also apply.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the healthy brain and heart pack, the collagen peptides, glucogel, hair, skin, and nails, if it's the skin involved.
I see we have some other questions, so I'll drop off. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Keep us informed. Let us know how these things go.
All right, thank you, Phyllis. And Dr. Wallach, as a follow-up to the dark patches, could that be caused by toxins from chemicals that in an area that somebody works in? Could that be like a toxin trying to get out of the body? Or,
it can.
Or would that be more pigmentation?
It could be just nutritional deficiencies, it could be toxins. And this is where the hair analysis really gives you some real serious information. Okay, instead of guessing, I'm saying, well, yeah, this will give you very specific biochemical information, which will direct you in the right direction.
And if it does come back with chemical toxicities, herbal rainforest is your first choice to be added to a program. Is that correct?
Herbal rainforest added to a program is legendary for getting rid of bad stuff. Okay, we take people who have really gotten themselves into deep trouble, and we change their diet. We put them on the nutrients, and we put them on the you talk about the glucogel,
the herbal rainforest.
Oh, herbal rainforest, yeah, the herbal rainforest. The herbal rainforest will get rid of excessive amounts of good stuff and get rid of bad stuff. And again, when you start the program, you want to do a hair analysis like 3 months later and see the actual benefit.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And let's get to one more question. Michelle, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. You are looking great.
Thank you, Dee.
I have a friend, she's 63. We went to school together from elementary on. She has cystic fibrosis. Of course, it's family, but mom was not. I know now why. She's now looking to nutrition to get help. So what can she do in addition to the 90 and getting, cleaning up the diet to help with the cystic fibrosis? It's pancreas, lungs, and other organs. I don't know which yet.
Okay, that's the primary. Of course, bone marrow can get involved there too.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where I'm the guy who found the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis.
Yep.
won international awards for that. Okay. So I'm very familiar with it. And it's one of those things where when you get it as a kid, you can carry it on forever if you're not changing to the good side and you just continue your bad habits. So again, a hair analysis would be useful here. And the, let's see here, one healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight. And then what's our antitoxin, Stecca?
The herbal rainforest?
Herbal rainforest, absolutely. Herbal rainforest. And herbal rainforest, I try to take an ounce of that every other day or so, just because I'm out and about so much and contact so many different things and shake hands with people who knows what they have on their hands. So the herbal rainforest is just a classic for getting rid of bad stuff.
Okay. And should there be additional selenium than what's just in the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart pack?
Well, it can't hurt. 63 years old. Do you know how much she weighs?
She's 125 pounds, 5'5".
Pounds. Okay, so 5'5", 125 pounds. She could take 2 twice a day of the selenium.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm going to try and get her on the call.
Okay. Yeah. Keep us informed.
Okay.
Because usually, little kids that get cystic fibrosis, if they're not treated properly, they can die. It's a potentially fatal birth defect, not genetic. And you can have the whole family with it because they're all making the same dietary mistakes. Okay. And not supplementing. It is not a genetic thing. And I proved that. And it won international awards, the Klaus Schwarz Award. And I think on the back of the book, is it epigenetics? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Receiving the
yeah, I've read that. I've got that. Thank you.
Yeah, I received it's an international award, Klaus Schwarz Gold Medal, okay, for discovering the cause, prevention, cure for cystic fibrosis.
Did that also include your work in Kishan province?
Oh yeah, Kishan province. This is in South Africa, and Kishan province.
Kishan in South Africa, or is that in the China area?
No, Kishan was in South Africa.
No, I think it's in Kishan, China, isn't it?
Okay, we'll see. We'll look it up.
I don't know, but Doc, we got to get you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. AJ, did you have something real quick?
Yeah, Doc, it must be hot in there because you're on fire. Danny mentions on Facebook, in November, his wife's blood count was 5.5, and they gave her 4 units of blood, and they got it back to 10 plus. They couldn't find any bleeding. So what could be going on with his 60-year-old wife who weighs 170 pounds and is 5'3"?
Well, middle-aged people commonly have, what should I say, anemia, okay, which we already talked about. And it says nutritional deficiencies. They could be eating gluten. Wheat, barley, rye, oats, and buckwheat's got to go. All the bad foods got to go, as well as taking the nutrients. Okay.
So a healthy brain and heart pack, just like you said earlier.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, AJ and Dr. Wallach. Thank you for bringing your knowledge, wisdom to us based on not just your research, but also formulas that you were very instrumental in creating, and the clinical, using all of us around the world as a laboratory, showing successes. And it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter where you live within this big, beautiful earth, that if you've got nutritional deficiencies, disease is present, but you give the nutrition, because there's over 600 different diseases connected to nutritional deficiencies. You give the body nutrition, the body itself can do some amazing amazing things and bouncing back and allowing you to have a better health journey that you are rewriting, folks. And Dr. Wallach has been part of that history for many people, as he mentioned in the beginning of the show, and that's shared in that flip chart and the Wallach Revolution as well. Get Dr. Wallach's books at drjwallach.com. And if I could get my co-hosts on the screen with me, Dr. Wallach, thank you again. Have a wonderful, fabulous weekend.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Absolutely.
All right. And I just want to do a shout out and a huge thanks to those who are part of my team. These are just a small handful, a fraction of the people on my team who are here with me today and helping make this program possible, bringing in those questions so that we can make sure that we're meeting people where they're at with the concerns that they have and finding true answers so that they can implement it in their daily life and claim that road to a better health journey. Thank you so much to Phyllis, who was doing some double duties today, filling in for Marilyn, getting all that information in the chat and transcribed, also fielding questions and bringing them in from the different platforms. Thank you, Phyllis. And we had Albert, who was helping put information into the chat as well, letting people in and making sure that we were keeping this a place so that all of our audience here in the live Zoom can sit and just focus on listening to the message that is being shared. Thank you, Albert, from way down in South Africa. And we have named Jeffrey in the background there as Albert's little buddy. And then we have AJ, who is helping make all of the streams possible on the different platforms on the TV shows, and just doing a fabulous job making sure everything stays rolling as it should. Folks, my name is Becca Dukes, and if you have special talents that you would like to bring to a special purpose, please make sure that you reach out to the person that shared this program with you. There are so many different things that we can do as individuals using our God-given talents to help spread a message that helps so many people. And that gives our talents even greater purpose. If you have talents and nobody referred you to this program, feel free to reach out to us through our website. Use that contact us option. I'll get your email and give you or get somebody in contact with you so that we can help you fill that gap that may be existing in our programs as well. So again, that's dailywithdoc.com. Use that contact option and follow us. I don't want to forget the giveaway, because as people follow us and share the message, doesn't matter what platform it's on, we've got a whole list of them, folks. If you go to dwdgiveaway.com, click on that, register for our giveaway, share on the different platforms. I personally am going to be sending thank you gifts for those who share the most. So again, thank you for watching Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.